What is going on, IVE Warriors? So today we're going to talk about how to burn visceral fat fast with intermittent fasting. Without any further ado, let's jump right into it. All right, so visceral fat is really important. It's important because that's the fat that you do not want. Most metabolic health risk factors are not necessarily tied to the subcutaneous fat. They're tied to the visceral fat. However, normally when you have a lot of subcutaneous fat, you also have a lot of visceral fat because that's just the way the body works. It wants to distribute the fat all around your body so it can be as efficient as possible. Now, these are the things that you can do to make visceral fat go away quickly. And yes, if you make visceral fat go away, you will see your stomach shrink because it's pushing your stomach out from inside the abdominal wall. That's why you could feel your abs and be like, well, my abs are right here. But if you look in the mirror, it still seems too far away from what you would expect it, where you would expect it to be if you were lean. And that's because it's being pushed out by visceral fat. Now, one cool thing about visceral fat is that most of it is brown adipose tissue. That means that you're already in a good position to burn visceral fat directly by doing certain things. Intermittent fasting in and of itself is already a good tool to burn visceral fat. Why? Because intermittent fasting has been shown to produce what is called white adipose browning. Now, white adipose browning simply means that it's taking white adipose tissue, which is fat tissue, and it's turning it brown. And when it turns it brown, it's ready to burn. It's revved up and ready to burn and be useful for energy within your body. Now, so all you literally have to do when it comes to the intermittent fasting part is do intermittent fasting. Now, there's always going to be a delicate balance. As I've always mentioned, you don't want to over fast, but the longer you get the fast in there on a daily basis, the better it will be for the white adipose browning process. I would recommend definitely no lower than 16 hours of fasting, 8 hours of eating. But if you could get it a little bit higher, if you could bump it a little bit higher, you will be tackling that visceral fat that much better. Just keep in mind that your comfort level and how you can and being able to do this for the rest of your life is more important. So if you ever move outside of your comfort zone of how long you're fasting, you just don't worry about burning visceral fat that fast. And just go back to what you were doing that helped keep you doing intermittent fasting. The other element is cardio. Yes, you're going to be converting a lot of that white adipose tissue to brown tissue to help burn more visceral fat, as that tissue is more ready to transition from white to brown. But cardio is the thing that helps you burn it off quickly, because the more cardio you do, the faster you'll burn visceral fat. One video essay that I did a while ago, back in 2019, I believe, talked about sumo wrestlers and why when they are actively partaking in their competition, they are healthy, even though they are massively overweight. And it is because they are consistently active, and they are active at a high level. Their cardio is very, very intense. So researchers actually put sumo wrestlers through a scan and realized that they virtually had no visceral fat. All of their fat was subcutaneous underneath the skin. So you actually have a direct control to burn visceral fat by increasing your activity. The more activity you have, the more visceral fat you'll be burning. And trust me, this is good for even weight loss on the scale and moving your body to a body composition that is closer to what you like, because this also shrinks your stomach. They've also seen this in people who work in factories. Even though they're overweight, they're not metabolically unhealthy because they don't have much visceral fat because they're consistently active. So make sure you're applying a good fasting time with intermittent fasting as long as it's comfortable for you, and ensuring that you keep a high level of activity with cardio throughout the week. Both of these things together will help you burn visceral fat incredibly fast. Until next time, guys, this is Edward from Fledge Fitness. Peace out.